a giant Smurf theme party in France, the best way to flex on your dinner guests, and the certified winner of the war on drugs. All of this on today's most amazing top 10 list. Coming in at number 10 we have We Must Not Stop Living. The French are gonna do what the French are gonna do. Back when the coronavirus was breaking out of its shell, there were people who were very resistant to locking down, like this French town who puts on a Smurf festival. A French mayor defends holding a massive Smurf rally despite coronavirus spreading. Quote, "We must not stop living." Whoa, this tweet definitely aged poorly. Could you imagine risking it all to dress up like a Smurf? I don't know if that's what I would be willing to put my life on hold for, but some people are different. Also, I didn't know that the French loved the Smurfs so much that they're willing to celebrate with blue face paint on in the face of a global pandemic. I just like the idea of someone dying from coronavirus at this thing, and then they wake up in heaven and the guy at the gates is like, cause of death, refusing to stop partying as a Smurf for 1 year. And then he's like, rock on, dude. I like your style. You're a no-nonsense dude, and you're all about capturing the Smurfing day. Coming in at number 9, we have Poke Confusion. Any Pokemon fan is going to love our next tweet because it's going to simultaneously tickle your nostalgia bone and make you lol. It's a joke poking fun at your first conversation with Professor Oak. Professor Oak says, "Do not mess with the tall grass." Ash says, "Okay." Professor Oak says, "I cannot stress that enough." Ash says, "Alright." Professor Oak says, "Now go get my mail from the next town." Ash says, "How do I get there?" Professor Oak says, "Okay." You're gonna laugh. It's so true. This guy makes the tall grass sound like a death sentence, and then the first thing he does is send you into the tall grass so you can get the dude's mail. Like, bro, I'm 10 years old. I literally just got my first Pokemon and I don't even know if it's a good choice. There's a chance a few of you out there started with a Bulbasaur and it was going to be a very tough adventure. But you want me to go out to the wilderness and possibly get mauled by Rattatas because you need your mail? We have Poke Centers that can heal Pokemon overnight. How do you not have email, my dude? And why does your mail get sent to the next town over? And guys, remember to hit that like button because it really helps us out. Coming in at number 8, we have Bro Science. Our next tweet comes from one of the best meme makers and tweeters on the planet. That is Tank Sinatra. Tank Sinatra tweeted out, "If you rub a kettlebell, Joe Rogan will come out and grant you 3 wishes." One of the best jokes about Joe Rogan I have ever seen written. It's so good that I'm upset I didn't write it. But I think if this was true and Joe Rogan appeared out of a kettlebell, he would grant you 3 wishes, but only if you hit his DMT pen first. And you would blast off into the stratosphere and your consciousness would be ripped from your body, and then when you came back he would be reading an ad for the Iron Neck. Coming in at number 7, we have Mosquitoes Are So Rude. This tweet comes from a very honest representation of our relationship with mosquitoes. AbbyGov tweeted out, "I don't mind when mosquitoes are sucking my blood, I've plenty to go around. What annoys me is they inject itch juice into my skin. Like, I'm already feeding you, why are you being such a cow? Imagine if I slapped my mom every time she made me dinner." I read this and I was like, yo, this is so true. If mosquitoes were just a little bit nicer about getting our blood, then maybe we would have no problem with them coming in and sucking a little bit of blood to feed their babies. But it's that they come in and they're so irritating about it. It actually made me think what I can do to be a nicer person to the people around me and maybe get more out of my life. Thank you, AbbyGov, for this little kernel of knowledge. Coming in at number 6, we have A Man Left Alone. This tweet is a combination of a male fantasy and probably a real thing that happened. This was tweeted out by Dave Apnea, "My wife calling from her long business trip. Are you washing all the dishes and cleaning the clothes as you go? Me drinking beer from a saucepan wearing a tuxedo. All good here. When you coming back?" This tweet is hilarious. Even though I'm not married, I could see myself being that exact type of dude. I mean, I have this perfectly good tuxedo sitting in my closet. I never get to wear it. I'm not putting it on because all my clothes are dirty and I'm too lazy to do my laundry. It's because I want to feel fancy and sit on the couch surrounded by takeout containers and the laundry that I'll get to as soon as I finish this round of Mario Kart. Also, drinking beer out of a saucepan was an amazing idea because I cooked bacon in the pan earlier and that bacon flavor is really kicking this beer up a notch. Coming in at number 5, we have Were You on an Edible? This next tweet is definitely one of the dumbest questions ever asked, with an amazing response. Fake Lenny tweeted out, "Has anyone ever tried making edibles without weed, like virgin edibles or something?" And Acid Kawaii responded, "Do you mean food? The best explanation I have for this is that this guy was on an edible when he wrote this. He was probably sitting, melting into his seat and looking at the edibles in front of him like, man, I wish I could eat those because I'm so hungry, but I don't want to get any higher. I wish someone could make a brownie or a cookie without cannabis in it. And then a light bulb went off in his head and he quickly grabbed his phone and sent out this message to the world. Someone saw it and was like, this guy has lost his mind and is as high as a kite. Could you imagine getting so high you forgot that the brownie came before the edible? Like people were sitting around getting cooked and someone was like, damn dude, this is so good, I would enjoy it even if it wasn't sending me to the moon. Coming in number 4 we have The Mess. I think as soon as I read this tweet I was like, oh, I'm gonna steal this move and then use it at my next dinner party, and then I laughed at the thought of having a dinner party and never used it. Don Frijole tweeted out, my favorite way to flex is to spend all day cleaning my apartment and then apologizing to guests for the mess. Honestly, that is such a good flex. I think all of my friends are fine with living in filth, so I don't even know if I clean when people come over. But one day, I will meet a special lady at a library or a grocery store or somewhere else wholesome. I'm gonna invite her over and spend all day cleaning and then pull this move. That way she thinks I'm this amazing dude, and slowly I'll expose her to the filthy human I really am, and eventually we'll break up. Such a cute love story. Coming in number 3 we have Take a Pic, Mom. It's great when parents are able to capture some of our most embarrassing moments. Ciara tweeted out, throwback Thursday to when my fish that lived for 3 years died and I didn't have any pictures, so I made my mom take one. This might be one of the best photos ever taken. Ali standing over Sonny Liston? This picture is better. That photo of a black hole? This picture is better. That photo of me at prom where I have a mohawk? Yeah, this picture is better than that one too. There is so much going on here. You have a kid who's trying to fake happiness as she holds up a dead fish with a net to try and have one moment to remember. She was clearly just crying because the fish had died, so she had to wipe tears from her face and then slap a fake smile onto her mouth. There's some sort of deep philosophical lesson in this picture, but I'm going to move on to the next point before we figure it out. Coming at number 2 we have Just a Little Guy. This tweet is so dumb, one of the best pranks, and made me laugh so hard. We had to change the Twitter handle because it's not appropriate for this channel, so their handle is PJugTycoon, but they use a more vulgar word than P. I'm sure you guys can figure it out, but PJugTycoon tweeted out, I dated a 5'8" guy who taunted every jacked 6'3" bro he met until they pulled their fist back to beat him up, whereupon my ex would go, hey, come on, I'm a little guy, just a little guy, no, it's my birthday, I'm a little birthday boy, and somehow it always worked. This is one of the most beautiful things I have ever read. The fact that there's someone out there doing this to people brings me so much joy. The only thing I'm upset about is that I never got to see this live. I want to see this performance in the flesh. I want to see the look on the bro's face as the guy says, I'm a little birthday boy. And I want to see the tone that the guy says it in. Not having a video of this is like losing the Library of Alexandria. And coming in at the number 1 spot we have the war on drugs. This tweet blew up a little while ago and it was one of the funniest, most honest tweets I've read in a while. Hexagonal Bear tweeted out, congratulations to drugs for winning the war on drugs. I think we can all raise a glass to drugs for pulling through on that long, hard-fought battle that they had to do against some people that were mad at them. I mean, back when the war on drugs started, everyone thought cannabis would make you go insane and kill your friends. But now we get legal cannabis in Canada. Let's go. Party time. And Oregon has decriminalized all drugs, which is actually amazing because people getting caught with drugs get help instead of going to jail, which increases the recovery rate of drug users substantially. Like Portugal has decriminalized all drugs, and if we compare our addicts' recovery rates to theirs, it doesn't even compare at all. Like I think in the US and Canada it's somewhere around 3%, but over there in Portugal it's around 51% recovery rate. Yay, decriminalizing drugs. And now Vancouver's talking about being the first city in Canada to decriminalize all drugs. So I think it's safe to say that drugs is really killing it out there. Alright guys, I've been your host Jay Durena. I hope you enjoyed this content. I'll see you next time.